Hello everybody, this is TA Drag Racer, aka Grandpa, back in the Ark talking at you. Got a little surprise out here. I'm starting to build a wall around the base. Help prevent, that way I can leave the animals sit outside. Won't have to worry about them getting just attacked by something. It's happened a couple times, so I started putting down some fence foundations and I'm putting walls on. That should keep them safe. So first thing we're going to do is finish that up, then go out and do some exploring. Just got back collecting resources. I'll show you a little bit of the process of putting these down. These are the fence foundations. They'll snap to each other. I got to find where the other one's at. I think that one doesn't have one under it. Looks like you can put a wall past where they're. See, they're snapping to them there. When you get a snap, then you aim it to the next direction you want to go. And I'm having some trouble there. I can't find that one. I may need to put some more foundations down here. I'm not sure what happened there. It can be a pain to see sometimes. I don't think there was any there. I don't see any coming off of there. Okay, now I got it nice and straight. You just put the walls up on top of those. They'll fit together nicely. They'll follow the terrain up and down. I want to turn it to come up the side there. Sometimes you gotta put them down, eyeball it, try to figure out where they need to go. Sometimes you gotta change them a little bit. And just follow your way around the whole perimeter you want to put a wall around. Eventually you'll get what you want. Hopefully. See, you can snap them in different directions. I don't really know which way that's pointing until I come back and look at it. It's nice to put a wall up on it. That's the same place I just had it. Why did I? I just flipped it around so the outside of the wall automatically snapped, pointing that direction. Critters always get in the way. They're good help, but they'll get in the way if they can. Make them all follow. Sometimes you gotta put some walls down. Actually see if that's where you want it to be. Believe it or not, this used to be a lot harder in the old game. They never snapped properly. These seem to snap pretty good. The other one, you would build a wall straight, then all of a sudden you'd have one that wouldn't snap where you wanted it. It would cut one way or the other. These seem to work pretty good. And it's that simple. So I'll go ahead and finish that on up. I didn't think you wanted me watch me walk around for a couple hours gathering supplies and building this wall, so I'm about finished up with it. We're putting in the last few pieces now. Having trouble finding my last couple foundations, I believe. There it is. Should match up right to the wall there. There we go. Put a gate in, as you can see. Wraps 2/3 of the way around the building. Maybe even 3/4. Now I can put some of these. It was getting really crowded in this little building with the animals in there. So now I can leave them outside. They should be fine. Sally and Boss Baby told me they were looking forward to coming outside. They've been stuck in there long enough. Now they can get some sunshine. Get all the smells of the area. They haven't made no. Leave them passive, nothing should bother them. We have upgraded the inside of the base. We've got a forge and a smithy now. I got some metal tools. Not so matter just getting some more resources so we can advance more and get other items that we truly want and need. The smithy gives you a lot more crafting opportunities than you have with just your on-body inventory. And I made a food trough. I'll be able to put that outside here. The animals have access to food. The way they eat the food, they have to be in proximity of it. If you look at the animals, let's see if I can see one coming up here. You can put the meat, berries, things like that in the food trough, and they have access to it as a group. Like I said, they have to be within range of the food trough. You can tell that there's a little icon that shows up above the animal. It shows that it is in range of the food trough. It's a pretty decent size range, but you just want to make sure your animals are within range of the food trough. That way they can get the nourishment they need. And all you need to do is put the food in the food trough. They don't actually walk up to it and eat. It's just all done by magic. It's always a good idea to take a look at your animals, look at their food bar or icon, and make sure they're getting plenty of food. If it starts to go low, you need to check why. Could be they're out of range, the type of food they like's not in there. Could be a lot of reasons. But you don't want them to die like the baby did on me that I didn't feed. Another thing you want to craft as soon as you get access to it is a spyglass. They have some excellent modded spyglasses you can put on your Ark that shows you a lot more information than the standard one that's in the game. I'm just using the standard one that's in the game. You can check the levels of the dinos, what type of dinos they are. Really come in a lot of help, especially if you're trying to tame something, you're looking for higher level dinos. You use your spyglass and check them out before you go approach them. When I'm out scouting around, I'm always looking for high-level dinos to tame. If they're not high-level, I usually bypass them at this stage of the game. It's not like I'm really far into the game, but I've got enough now that I only want high-level dinos. If I found a 150 Pteranodon, I'd tame it if I possibly could. Same way with most other animals, or dinos. Big difference between the high level ones and the lower level ones. Unfortunately, the island has a lot of lower level dinos. It's hard to find high level ones. You can search for a long time and not find any. While you're out scouting around with any dino, but particularly the flyers, keep an eye on the stamina bar. If you look in the top right, those icons belong to the dino you're riding. The ones at the bottom belong to your character. So you can see this dino, the little lightning bolt that's flashing, that's the stamina bar. That gets down to the end, the flyers drop out of the air to the ground. They can't defend themselves. That's the majority of the flyers I've lost is because of that. You lose track of it, or you just run out of stamina for whatever reason, and you have to stop and rest for it, and you'll get attacked immediately if there's things in the area. So you definitely want to keep an eye on your stamina. Take plenty of stops. Before you go to the ground, look around and make sure there's nothing right in the area that's going to jump you right away. There are some dinos that can knock you off your tame. Microraptors, raptors, they have a jump that can knock you off your tame. And then when you get separated from your tame, it's always best to have your tame on follow when you're riding it. So if you do get knocked off, it'll come to you. I usually keep mine on passive, which seems counterproductive. But that way, if I get knocked off the dino, I can run. The dino will follow me, the flyer, and hopefully I can hop back on it before we get attacked. That's my strategy anyway. It don't always work. But you just got to keep those things in mind. It's the best way to scout the island or any of the arcs. It's the safest way to do it as long as you do it safely. And now you can see those icons down there. Those are actually where my base is. Those are my tames. You can turn that on or off as you wish, but it makes a nice marker so you can find your way back to your base. I usually like to leave at least one dino on. You have to go into your menus and you can turn the tracking on and off there. When you get your dino, a flyer, especially a pteranodon like this, the two stats that are always lacking are stamina and weight. You want to get the weight up first and foremost so that it can carry you and a few things you're going to carry. They're never going to carry, you're never going to have a full inventory and they're going to carry you properly. So you usually got to dump some stuff in another dino or in a box before you go off on them. But first thing you want to do is get your weight up on the dino. I don't go extreme on it, 300, 350 pound carrying capacity. And I just adjust my inventory so I can ride it. And then the stamina. The stamina is usually pretty low. Like I said, when your stamina runs out, you have to stop. And before it runs out, you're best to stop then. But you want to start raising that up until you're comfortable in your duration of your flight. And also when you're battling things, your stamina drops pretty quick. So you want to have lots of stamina on the bird. And then after that, I'll start upgrading the melee of the bird so it does more damage when it's attacking. At least on the pteranodons. And also the speed. You want the speed up on them. That makes it really nice later on when you're going after really nasty dinos. You can get away from them quickly. One thing I started having trouble with, and I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it, is the mortar and pestle. I've used the mortar and pestle for quite a while in the game. Crafted lots of stuff with it. Now, when I go into it, no icons are showing up. I can't craft anything. I started wondering, is it a bug in the game? What's going on here? I've deleted them, built new ones. I can't get them to craft anything anymore. And it took me, I bet I worked on it for a couple hours. Not even fix it in one day. I ain't gonna say all what I did trying to fix it. But anyway, what the problem was, I put a mod in the game to try to stack inventory. And I've never got those things to work, especially the stacking ones. So I took it back out. When I did that, it must have took all of my crafting and icons away. Or I had to go back in to my character and reauthorize those icons to be used, spend points on them. And that's why nothing was showing up in there, because I didn't have any, narcotics wasn't open, spark powder, nothing was open. I've been using it since the beginning of the game pretty much. So it really threw me for a loop. I finally did figure it out though. I just had to go in and reauthorize the icons. So be careful if you put mods on. Then you start taking back off, as I didn't want to leave it on there because I wasn't using it. I didn't want to figure out how to use it. I can go in, I went into my game INI file and I made it so my, for instance, like if I get mutton or prime meat, it'll stack in my inventory. I just put a command in there for that instead of using a mod. But I thought, well, I'll try the mod. I didn't. There must have been something you had to do to activate the mod after you had it in the game. I don't know. I didn't read about it though. So it's on me. But I didn't know that could be a problem, but it definitely is. So if you get something that's not working and you've been messing with mods, check those type of things out. Right now, I was walking around with this thing, setting in different places, seeing if it would craft there. Like I said, I've been using it, so it didn't occur to me that the icons may be reverted back to not being open. So that was on me. That must have been my April Fool's joke they put on me. I don't know. Actually, I had another problem that I think might have been happening because when I removed that mod, it reset things in the game. I searched around for days trying to find some high-level dinos to tame, and you'll see me doing that in the game here. And I could find no high-level dinos. So when I found out about the icons missing, I went and looked at my settings. And my game wasn't on hard difficulty anymore. It must have been on easy or who knows what it was on. I switched it all back like I had it that I showed you in that video. My settings are. And it did a dino wipe. You can do that with an admin command. Just to wipe the non-tamed dinos. And I started getting some higher level dinos spawned back in finally. But I couldn't find anything above a 40, 45. It was driving me crazy. I went all over the island. I flew all over the place trying to find some. I couldn't find them anywhere. So, just be careful when you start using mods. They're fun to use. I have used them in the past. Right now, there's none really that I care to use that much. I'll definitely use the ones that put in the holidays and things and the special colored dinos. I like those. It gets really fun collecting dinos with all the fancy colors on them. But for most of the mods, I'm just going to leave them alone. I enjoy the basic game. I just love playing Ark. That's what I always played. It's my favorite part of the game when playing it. Actually, once I level up a lot and have pretty much everything I want, the game gets a lot more boring than you're just taking care of everything. But we're going to keep going to other islands. I'm playing in a private game right now. I'll probably convert that over to a server once I start playing Scorched Earth, so I can travel from here to Scorched Earth. I haven't decided 100% yet how I'm going to handle that. But I'll just have Arks, and maybe I'll open them up to other people eventually. Because there'll be plenty of capacity on them for other people to join in and play. But we'll see. that's all in the future. Right now I'm just playing the private game, and I'll do that through the island. Like I said, I would have... Scorched Earth is out now, and I have played it on official a little bit. But I decided I want to go ahead and continue this instead. I can wait. I played all the worlds in Ark, the older game of Ark. So I know what to expect. Here's a good little view of the base. It's a lot safer now. So this video is running long enough. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you some useful information. If you have any questions about Ark, I've run a lot of servers. I've played a lot of Ark over the years. I hate to tell you how many hours I've played, but lots and lots and lots. So, hope you have a great evening or day, whatever you have going on. And we'll see you in the next episode.